B'shad Tov Mitzladas, we're starting Bas B'Chalav, and it's a big endeavor. It's a a big, uh, big sugya. It's really Bas B'Chalav is one sugya, so we have to hold tight over here. The um, the Gemara is here. They talk about the din of Chatichah, Naaseh, Neveilah. So there's a same Deah that they had over here, right? There's Omedan. We have our sugya here. Amarav kivan shnasan tam b'chaticha to ask Naaseh Neveilah. It says kol chatichas kulam mipnei shein mina, right? Yeah. So it's true. The reason Rav is saying that the reason is chaticha Naaseh Neveilah and all the chatichas will be netzer because the min that's Rav holds, right? But it's interesting. Why did the Gemara say it in Shitas Rav? And the Rajba asks, of course, it's superfluous this whole Gemara because on Tav Kuf or Namad Aleph, Rav already taught us this in, right? It says over there, Amarav Uki Amar Levadosh Kiman Shanasa Tam Chaticha Chatichatz V'Nas Levim. But says called Chatichas Kol V'Veishen Mina. So he's Rav teaching us differently here than he taught us over there. As to Rav Ramashach, he's teaching us Chaticha Nas Levim. We learned that already, and he's teaching us that. Min Ramina Lo Batal. We know that also. So there's nothing established here in this whole din in Kuf Kasim and Al. And Lamaisi, if you go to the end of the sugya, towards the end of the sugya, Kuf Kasim and Beis says there, Tanya Tis Follow Shnapla Chaticha, Kivish Nasa Tam Chaticha, Dichas Neveilah, Vaseres Kol Chatu, Ulam, Sheimina, Tireh Yehuda. Right? Okay, the truth is, yeah, this it does speak out the common over there. It's true. Okay, and Al Kapanim from these two Gemaras and Kuf Ches, it seems like we're somehow tying this din of Chatichah Naaseh Neveilah into Shittas Rav, and that's over Darshini. Make it taste. So comes along the Rajban and says something very interesting over here, right? And we have to understand. So what is this din of Chatichah Naaseh Neveilah, and what is this din of Defshar Sol to Asr? What exactly is it coming to teach us here? So, if you look over here, I think it's the bolded part in the code, so maybe unbolded it. Ikra kedusha the Rav Lomar Kitas Naaseh Neveilah Defshar Sol to Asr, right? Ukshemisharinan b'kol chaticha v'ma lo shabalim min achal, right? Sheroinas chaticha kilu bas Neveilah. That's going to asr afilu be'elef. Ve'ein roinas so kilu chatichas chalav sheneser mimena. Below test afilu Rabbi Yehuda, right? Bas v'chalav, right? It's bas v'chalav. Is it bas or is it chalav? Is it both? Right? What exactly is bas v'chalav, right? So comes along the Rajman and says that the chiddush of Hanan, the ikra chiddush of Hanan, is that when we say bas v'chalav, yeah, it's that the basar became asr, and it's still basar. It's an isser basar, yeah. And when this is what Rajman saying, it's not an isser chalav. It's you have a pound of meat, and I don't know, some milk, a few drops of milk fell on it. There's no bit of shishim, right? And now the whole piece of meat is nesar. So, is this chalav or is it basar? Right? L'may nafkamina says Rishva, the nefkamina are going to be going to Rav and because we could look at this. We could look at this. We see shiroines chaticha kilu basar neveilah, right? Test was chatichas afilu be'elef. The eiroines so kilu chatichas chalav shenes rimenu. Below test afilu Rabbi Yehuda. Ela pokus mishishim kashir. Kein chal shenafel tel kader shal b'sa. V'zik English lo shamanu mimenu adayim. What was saying over here, right? The isra bas v'chalav is that we still look at it as basar. And I always wondered, Chatichah Naaseh Neveilah, like why Neveilah? Like what did this piece of meat do wrong that now it's Neveilah? Gemara says, Kol tam and kol pam shein. Kol mi shein bodas Neveilah sufa advimena, right? So Neveilah, like the pshat is that the basar became Esr. It's a basar Esr. Even though there's a new Esr called basar, yeah, which is different than Neveilah. But the chiddush of Hanan, yeah, the chiddush of Hanan is that it became an Esr basar. It became an Esr basar. And that we're not going to learn that according that doesn't come out according to the Chacham. The thing we say Tapkika, it doesn't matter if it's basar, if it's cholav, whatever it is. We don't care about that so much. it's true there is a Kiddush in Canaan, that even though it's only a few drops of milk, that the entire piece is a hefsa, right? Even though it's only got time from a few drops of milk. Usually in Tom Kicker, we would say, well, it depends how much time went into something. Let's say, what's that? Even, to Lakula. But Lamaisa, the main shaila here, right? That's what the Rashi is speaking out, is that the Kiddush according to Rab here is that we look at it as Neveilah, right? It's not bus, it's not Nuisa bus b'chol, and it wouldn't be less. And then that's what the Rashi is speaking out, right? We do use this as chaluf, right? We don't look at this as if it's all chaluf, right? If we look at this piece of basra as it's all because it was Naaseh from Cholim, that's Tam Cholim, that's Tam Bas B'Cholim, then it wouldn't work for Rabbi Yehuda, because only Min Mamina is Labat. We wouldn't call it Min Mamina. The fact that we're looking at his Basra Issa, that's Chatichah Naaseh. It's not Bas B'Cholim. It's Neveilah. It's Neveilah. Akidekach, the Rajma speaks about that even if I take out the Cholim, if I take the Cholim out afterwards, like even if I could get every drop of Cholim out, it would still be Basra Issa. And that's Chatichah Naaseh Neveilah. The Chatichah's Basar Mamish became a Shtik Neveilah. What's that? First of all, the Shaila we say by liquids. That's number one. Right? But number two, that's the focus here right now. Right? That's not the focus here right now. Right? We're focused. Chatichah Naaseh Neveilah. Because the basar, right? This was soaked to usher means I'm taking the liquid out from the sal. We're focusing right now on the sal. That's what soaked to usher is a din in the sal, not in the liquid. If I take all the liquid, all the time out of the liquid, the salad still, once it became a chefs of Isra, applies the chefs of Isra, right? And Mamela, it's finished according to Rabbi Yehuda. But according to Rabbi Yehuda, it's called min mamino, it's not going to be blackable. And that's why the Gemara is not according to Rabbi Yehuda, right? Why is the Gemara being moved in this specific? That's what the Raj was speaking of. Why is the Gemara being moved in this specifically according to Rabbi Yehuda? Because it still is not according to Rabbi Yehuda. The Chatichah Naaseh Neveilah, he says, Shroyas Chatichah Kilu Basar Neveilah. V'taser as a Chatichah Pilu Bel. V'chiron so Kilu Chatichah is Chol. We don't look at it as milk, right? Because milk and meat, it's milk, and it's meat, and it's meat. That's right. So who sees according to Rabbi Yehuda? Who says this is min mamina? Let's look at his challah. Let's look at his basar. No, we look at his basar, and not even basar. We look at his neveilah. Right. And this is the thing. Even if we could take all of the cholim out, somehow, right? So then the Rav here's what's here. V'ai sini adnoy basar b'bad. Mash ikik b'shar yisurim. Shkik or his header. Not spelled in Israel. Elik Isser Ha'osr, right? Very, very important machlokas, which we're going to see over and over again here. Is Canaan only in Bas B'chol, or is it in Bas B'chol and Shar Yisurim? Says the Rashba, and I never had this so clear before. Says the Rashba, it's only by Bas B'chol. Why? It's not shayach to everything else. It's not connected to anything else. It's only a din in Bas B'chol. Then when you take out the Cholim, still belongs Bas Yisr. That's not going to be true about it. That's not going to matter by anything else. It's not going to matter by anything else. Because that's the din, because it's a special din in Bas B'Cholim. That the bus passes the Cholim and the Cholim passes the Basar, and it becomes Basar Isser. But it's not true in Shari Surin. That's what Rashi says. We look at this, if I cook a piece of, 1 second, if I cook a piece of kosher meat with chaz, right? We look at now, it has toppings, but it's not stam basar isra. It has stam chazer. If I would take the chazer out, it would be mutar technically, We don't give it a new shame neveilah. That's what the Raj was saying. Read this line again here. V'hai ini anoy b'basar b'chol bildi. Mash'inte b'shar yisurin she'ein royin es a heter sheneser Machmas Kabbalah's time Isser, Ela ki Isser Usra, right? Machmas Kabbalah's time Isser, Ela ki Isser Usra, Ela, we look at it as the other thing, yeah? We look at the other thing. The what? Yeah. It's not the right time to ask the question. It's not. The Rashi is saying that a special Hanan is a special din, yeah. It's only shaykh in bas b'cholav, yeah, because it's a new sug iser, yeah. It's a new sug iser that the basar, the cholav is answering the basar, and it's creating a hefsta of a basar iser, yeah. And that's Neveilah. It's making it into Neveilah. It's making it into a new iser here, an iser on the basar, yeah. It's making it into an iser on the basar, and therefore it's called min mino with something else, yeah. Mashiach of any other iser. Right? It goes after what it absorbs. It goes after. It's going to be chaza, yeah, chaza, or or something else. One second. Oh, hataf b'basim b'cholav v'isha isim bar mishneim ve'ein kan isim v'hetem u'ravim zeh b'zeh kol achad ve'echad husmas chavero v'yisurin machmas atzman. Right? It's an interesting thing. So how would that be like chalav min b'mino? What this means? Right, right. But even Chatichah falls into the Gedera, right? Even the bus is milk, right? It has ton of milk in it. No. Yeah, it's milk. It's milk. It looks like meat. It smells like meat, but it's milk. You can grind it and give it to a baby. What? It's the milk in the meat. The meat going out, the milk going out. Okay. So the thing that's one mahalach here. Why we dafka were mimed it according to Rabbi Huda, not according to the Chachamim. Okay. Lamaisa. And what does the Ran say? The Ran's learning the same sort of mahalach. Yeah. Right. Except the Ran said the Ran. That's why it can only be by Bas B'chalav. The Ran says Einachinami. Yeah, but we can still be goes at Bas B'chalav. So din the Rabban we can still have. Right. It's not going to be the same lump as by other things. By a piece of you cook something with something else. Chaz with meat is not such a good example because that's anyway min mino without the basar. But you cook some chaz with some potatoes. Cook some chaz with some potatoes. Okay. Lamaisa, okay. Lamaisa, right. So it's still gonna be there. It's one of the Ashit is that Hanan B'Shar Yisrael is the rice. But is that the Marik? Others, but that still needs to be understood more. Okay. So comes along the Rambam and the Ravid, and the Ravid says something even more startling here. The Rambam says Nafal to Kader Shal Basar Tamim as the Chatichah, right? Red Urim Shalom Nir. We're going to see next week a lot of raid here in this Rambam. I don't understand the near and not the near, but then comes the Ravid and says, but clear points are to the Rambam. Everything's Chanan in everything, right? There's no reason to believe it's not Chanan in everything. And he says, "Mishayim b'kol, im yesh b'chatika dam chalav, afal pi shim nischa da chatika lo yish b'tam, however yesh b'ata tam chalav, nisros chatika, mishayim b'kol." Right? That's the partial understanding of Chanan. His Chanan teach us, right? So we don't just look at the amount of taste of basar b'cholav in this. It's a very small amount. There's only one drop of milk in it. If one drop of chazer fell in, so we would evaluate according to that one drop of chazer, not according to the whole piece. But by bus, the Chiddush is that we look at the whole piece. That's how the Rambam is learning. Yeah? What comes along, it says, no. This whole din of Hanan is only according to Rebbe Yehuda. Yeah? Tosavador, Anu Omrim, Shalosh Shamanu Kol Chatichah Naaseh Neveilah, Eladas Rebbe Yehuda. The Machrim Min Mino. No. There's no din of Hanan to everyone else. Okay. And the Lechem Mishnah already asked on this. Yeah. How can it be? Yeah. We have an open Gemara that says, yeah, Park Levina, everyone owns Esther Sof to Asr. And that's the same thing as Hanan. So that's ready like the cat statement over here. Right? And again, I've looked at Bas so many times. And this is a tricky point. What is the difference between Efshel Sof to Asr and Hanan? It's a machlokas achronim. Say there is no difference, yeah. And what? The what? The Rashba, yeah. What's so comes along Reb Chaim, and he says the word like this. Yeah? He says the word like this. Right?
The Gemara says the Kufa and place to an. The Gemara says it says our view of plastic dealer. The Gemara says the place to do that.
It seems like it's the same thing. When you think about it, it's right? Because if Sof to Asr means if I could take the Yisr out, it's still going to be Yisr. And it means that we look at the whole pieces as a double Yisr. So comes along Reb Chaim and wants to explain as follows. Yeah? Let's say that Nosach, perhaps in a slightly different Nosach, right? Really, the pivotal question is, so what's it mean, Efshel Sof to Asr, the Chatichah Naaseh Neveilah? The critical word is the last word, Neveilah and Asr. Efshel Sof to Asr, which Isser doesn't have. Yeah? That's a good, kind of left vague. Chatichah Naaseh Neveilah. Okay, so what's the difference between two things? So the way Rav Chaim explains, the Rambam is mamish going like the Rashi, right? He says, the Efshel Sof to Asr das Rambamu, Shem the Naaseh bas b'chalav Naaseh gufa basar v'gufa chalav v'Naaseh atzmo shel Isser. They both become, the basar becomes basar shel bas b'chalav, the chalav becomes chalav shel bas b'chalav. Even if I separate the two, the still going to be basar b'chalav. But how's the Ravid learning? He says, the Ravid holds that they're only also when they're together. When you're mafre the two, right, they be'etzem become head. Yeah? So the answer, so what does it mean Efshel Sof to Asr then? So what does the Ravid do with the Efshel Sof to Asr? So this is Reb Chaim like this. He says, once the Ravid, the main nakuda is we're not going to get down Tom Cake. This is what the Reb Chaim's main nakuda here is. If you come inside Tom Iker, then you're going to need, I'll read it, it's more clear. Conflict in Tom Iker, midin min b'min lo batal. That the min batal, this is always tricky, is because the yeshivish words and all this, what's it mean exactly? Is havkos be'ikr din bittel, the lace of a min b'mino, kumo shu be'end. Masha exact the cost of the Tom Kicker ain't havkos bittel, ki din chalos shem isra. Yeah? Chalos shem isra. Says, the das arrived at the be'isra, the Efshel Sokto, it's havkos etzem ismine, rak mishum the kvar neser, ain't chosen liot niter. It's possible cholim anymore. Points of Rambam, the Rashba, once you take the cholim and basar out, it's still basar cholim. The Rambam is learning, no, it's not basar cholim anymore. It's isra. Right? Efshel Sokto, awesome. It's isra. But just, pick anyone you want. Right? It's not totally in time anymore. Right? It's not an isra which is totally in time anymore. Right? Lo shaykh zeh ela nesek shu b'fnei atzma she'inkein linyan leinim din tam kiker k'zeres hakos shel isek shu b'tarubas heim b'zeh klal din efshel l'sokto lo shaykh lo mezeh dehari hu b'iser b'isur shemikodim. The words are tricky, but if you take a look at yourself, this is what I think it means. Yeah? Is that when you tam kiker means you're imparting something to the next thing which it has itself, you're giving over. Yeah, and you're asked to be usa with that, right? Something has tam neveilah, something has tam chazer in it. You put it together, so you're imparting a tam chazer. Yeah? And depending where you're cooking, min b'mino, min b'shein mino, it's going to aser, it's not going to aser. Right? The way that the Rambam, the way that the Reb Chaim is explaining the Ravid, to differentiate between Hanan and After Sok to Aser, is that really After Sok to Aser means just there's always going to be I'm never going to be successful to completely master this. There's always going to be a little bit of basar left over, a little challah left over from the basar. And it's always going to have a shape. It's not coming mishad tam kicker. It's not coming mishad tam kicker. Tam kicker means this is basar b'challah because it has that basar b'challah taste, which is go to Italy, everything, all recipes have milk, parmesan, lasagna, and basar b'challah. It's not just that basar b'challah taste. That's not the isser. The isser is a new isser that once something became us, it stays us. Okay? It stays us. And since the problem, that's what it's for you. It's not to everyone else. If you're going quite to everyone else need to deal with tam and bittul and shishim and all these different types of calculations. According to me, this isser of Eshel Sov Asr is that it stays isser. Not the isser at once, it stays isser. But not mishum basar b'challah. If we're dying mishum basar b'challah, being tam kicker, because that's basar b'challah. But if you're just starting beside isser, it's not only work according to Yehuda, not according to everyone else. And that's why this thing could only be according to Yehuda. Krasny says it much more simply and much less words. Yeah, much more chadinishnik. Yeah, he says because I have a question here. Lamaisa, the Gemara talks about tam. Derek Bishlas with her. You need some tam. He says something very interesting here. He says, keep chinislat kol chalav mutter k'mokum etipas chalav. Right. On my type of the mandam efshol to asim chula, he says, "L'chipim sharaybid sheidish efshol to el Reb Yehuda." Reb Yehuda, tikehenish shemin enu avato mino hochinami basu shenesem avnus chalav havi kibinech dashlu. Right? The enu avato zeh. Once it became asa because of basar b'challah, and it had to have a tam basar b'challah, derek b'shas return, right? So it can't be mavatal anymore. Even if it all comes out, and only one drop is left, it's still going to be basar b'challah. It's still going to be asa basar b'challah. But seeing your harbe pamim shetchila sabin and shir v'sher chashvina b'mashu. Right? It started off with there wasn't shisha, and the piece of basar became basar b'challah. Right? But after so this means even if I got all the milk tam out of this meat, since it once had a shear, it's basar b'challah. The Chazanish Baruch Kodsho, he's saying time with Yisurim. It starts with a shear. It doesn't matter at the end; it doesn't have a shear, right? It doesn't have a shear. So you start with a shear. That's enough, right? It started with a tam basar b'challah. So even at the end, it doesn't have a tam basar b'challah anymore. This piece of meat, you cooked it and cooked it and cooked it and got all the chalav out. And took it to the laboratory. You removed all the chalav that you could from it, right? L'maisa, it's still considered to be basar b'challah, right? Right, but it only works according to Yehuda. It has nothing to do with tam, right? Everyone else is going to say you need tam gig. Basar b'challah is about the tam basar b'challah. Right? And just to sum up everything very simply, okay? Right? According to going forward in basar b'challah, right? Going forward in basar b'challah, basar b'challah is totally on tam basar b'challah, right? You need to have that tam basar b'challah. According to Rami, you bring a kefilin, you bring a goyin, come and taste it. Tastes like basar b'challah. It doesn't take basar b'challah. It doesn't take basar b'challah. It's going to be. Who told me this one? There's Rabbi Chanan Peretz. I don't know if you know. He's a big Rabbi, big Shana. She was the town of Scheinberg. He said, you go to these shawarma places. They have French fries. This, Stetzkin's basri. You taste the French fries. They don't taste like basri. Can you imagine? You know, like straight up. It's all Scheinberg. Right? Taste it. No time basri. Yeah. That's according to everyone else. Basar b'challah is all about having tam basar b'challah. Kanan teaches us if something has the tam basar b'challah, the entire piece is necessary, not just the amount of milk there is. Quite straightforward. But the Gemara didn't teach us this halacha in the Chachamim. Talk about Yehuda, right? Why is it coming to teach us in Yehuda? Because it's a Tosefes din that we wouldn't have learned from the Chachamim. According to the Rajba, To accept this din is that we look at this whole piece as a piece of basar or a piece of challah, depending where it is, and with agreement with right? According to the Chazon Ish, is that we don't care about the tam kicker now. Since it started off with this tam, started off with the sheer tam, right? Tam bas b'chalim, now. We don't care. So it's hard made dvarim, pamim, the tchilas of being in shir, chashvinim b'mashu, right? Mashu. So as long as it's a mashu, and it'll always have a mashu of milk in it, it's still going to be mutter, right? And according to Rav, it's a special din that special din of Eshel Sof to Asr. The Rav is saying that even though it has nothing to do with time at all, right? It's completely nothing to do with time kicker, right? It's only that it gets to the Neveilah and it's Neser, and that's only according to Rabbi Yehuda the Mimamino, nothing to do with the Shitas that time kicker. And Neveilah, that's why we said this in Rabbi Yehuda. Right? We're going according to the comment. We don't pass like we don't pass like Rabbi Yehuda, even though Rashi does. We don't have machmer for that sheet here. And Bas Makol is that. But one very important machlokes, one very important nafkamina and habanas that's coming out is how do you learn how do you learn what's it called? Tanan b'shai surah. Right? The Rajba is saying it's a specific thing that's only shaykh to Bas Makol, that each one becomes a chefs of Isra. You separate them and they apply Isra. That's only by Bas Makol, nothing by house. And the Rav is learning that Zexera ad to Bas Makol, we can stretch it to other places as well. That's something that comes out practical from this. Okay. Ten L'chacham Yakim Od is kedai to see more. Well, I was quoting here the second part of the Ran, which is not in the original Makom. Excited to see more, but definitely I would like if tomorrow, or at least by Sunday, everyone's ready on the tour of Bais Yosef and King. So, let's go.